looking to close it out on potentially the most picked map this season of HGC across all the regions. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case.
Yeah, Infernal Shrines, Cursed Hollow, they're pretty balanced maps where many drafts are possible. And so, yeah, you see a lot of teams gravitating towards them. Let's see how it's going to be shaking out. I expect to see possibly Gul'dan ban here by Team Gangan. Maybe we'll see that Cassia coming out. Raid Boss and Team Gangan run an excellent Cassia.
They do.
Z3 plays it as well from time to time.
Yes, he does. And these bans, I believe these are the same bans as the first game?
Correct.
Yes, they are. So these teams not wanting to play against them, beGenius not wanting the Ariel, and Gangang removing the Gul'dan, which an Ariel ban can sometimes bait it.
Exactly. Okay. First pick to beGenius.
What are they going to go with? It's a tough choice. Greymane straight away. I would have maybe said, if this was yesterday, I would have said a Nubrak would have been a lovely choice for them, but Greymane is very solid as well in terms of damage dealers.
Yep. Well, of course, beGenius tried to run a Nubrak in game number 2 on Cursed Hollow. Didn't work out as well because his wave clear is poor. That's also why we may not see him per se that early, but Gangan, no doubt whatsoever, they value the power of the Beetle Papa.
They do.
With the Cocoon on demand.
And they've got the Mage to go with it. Running out the Kael'thas here. Very nice to see and beautiful in this map. We saw him fall off for a while, but dropping Flame Strike onto the Shrines is one of the most satisfying feelings in this game, where you just see all of those terrible demon skeletons getting absolutely destroyed and then the Punisher coming out in your team's color.
They deserve it. Those skeletons mean nothing but poor for both teams, as attested by their fighting indiscriminately. Destroy them all, I say, and good riddance.
Good riddance, skeletons. The Punisher's way better than you. We prefer him because he will sometimes work for us if we kill enough of his friends. Which makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That's in history anyway. We're civilized now as a species.
Exactly.
For the most part. Okay, so next picks, Tyrael to empower Greymane. Arthas. I like that a lot.
Wow, this is a scary looking comp already.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You want to have layers of protection when you're going up against a Nubarak. Those have been secured for beGenius. Now, it is a very heavy melee-oriented composition. Against a Nubarak, that's pretty great. But against Kael'thas, you might be in for a world of pain with chain bombs spreading. beGenius's coordination will need to be on point to both deny chain bombs from spreading, as well as making engagements fast and merciless.
This is true. Like, out of interest, like this is one of my most terrible theory craftings I've ever come up with in my brain.
Looking forward to it already.
Is it possible to tell which Arthas zombie is going to die when he sacrifices it to heal?
I don't know. That's an interesting, useless piece of trivia.
Drop a living bomb on the one that's going to die and take the extra damage from the spread.
Sun King Fury. that will be pretty damn cool. Of course, you can also put it on the Shrine minions, of which there are many, and very predictable.
Yeah.
But then you wouldn't win any Genius Awards for it, would you?
Any beGenius Awards.
Don't get too invested in that joke. All right. Tychus gets banned.
Yeah, that's reasonable. They still could use a second tank to go with a Nubrak. They can pick something with a big old health pool. Go for Stitches if they even wanted to try and remove that Greymane. Tyrael does offer a lot of protection against the Stitches comp, but it is still viable just due to incredible Shrine clear potential.
Stitches is still possible as well. Slam build Pulverize. 6-second massive slam damage with 75% slow is quite a strong tool to have on the Infernal Shrines against such a heavily oriented melee composition. With Putrid, Bile, you have a bit of counter engage as well. It would also explain the Tychus ban, but it's by no means confirmed. Many options are still available, and we will now finally understand the direction Gangan is going to. It is indeed Stitches and Mouth.
Stitches want to play.
And he will, one way or another. Yeah. But will this playing session end in crying or in joy? That remains to be seen. Will Gangan close it out 4-0 or fall behind?
Well, they'll still be ahead.
Well,
They will begin the comeback of beGenius.
You can't say fall behind when you've got the lead.
You've got a 3-0 lead. Oh no, we lost one game.
Yeah.
We're behind.
We're so behind. That would be the height of pessimism.
If they lose in 6 minutes, then they have an excuse to say, okay, we're mentally behind in that case. But we were a 6-minute game. I believe we've only had one that's close to that. And that was, I can't remember what map that was on. Pretty sure it would have been in Battlefield.
We had a short game, 11 minutes.
Yeah, a Battlefield with a Sylvanas game. That was fun.
Oh.
Probius! First time we have seen him in the European Crucible. We saw him banned, but it's the first time we will see the play.
Yep.
It's coming in from beGenius. So again, they need something to assist with that. Something that's going to try and deal with that incredible lane pressure.
Probius and Uther. I like Uther. Uther is ideal against Hook. Probius, let's see. He can't kill a Nubarak, but you've already got Greymane. He's great zoning. Yeah, I really like that. Let's see what the little probe can do. Let's see how well they mastered him. I don't think it's going to be Lolgate. I think it's going to be
unfortunately not.
Pylon Overcharge.
For those who don't know, on HGC China, me and Kendrick had a Google document where after Twin Blade Varian was picked once during a HGC China game, made a Google document of everything we didn't expect pros to ever play. It started off with like over 30 items. It's down to 12. So
is Nullgate still?
Nullgate is still on there. It has not been picked yet.
Okay.
So even China won't play Nullgate.
Yet.
So time is down. Falstad to finish off, and that's nice. You can poke the Probius with that boomerang.
Yep.
You can rotate to him to help clear out the lanes. A solid pick overall. And of course, if you can gust some people who aren't into Sanctification, you can isolate the people who are in it for when the Sanct expires.
Yeah, true. And you can also gust after a Hook, of course.
Yep.
That can work out against you.
If they have Gorge.
Hook, Gorge, then
Oh,
Gust.
no.
Like, oops, we will never reach them now. But it's a strong tool as well against Probius. Probius relies on his position in his, his stronghold.
Yeah.
And so if you gust him out of that, he becomes very exposed. No mana regeneration, no shields, and no protection.
It is good. But like you said, the Hook Gust combo is probably one of the scariest in the game. Do you think that's enough? Because Probius is made out of paper mache. Let's be honest on that. He's quite easy to blow up. They have Hook, they have Gust, they have follow-up stun in the form of Kael'thas, they have follow-up Root, they have a Nubarak. Anyone who's going to get hooked, except for maybe Tyrael, I think is probably dead, even Arthas.
Well, sometimes grave mistakes have been made, hooking Arthas into their own team.
That has happened.
But the problem here is Probius is not a follow-up hero to heavy engage. So if it was just up to Tyrael, Arthas, Greymane, and even Uther, I would say they are expertly equipped to deal with the hook part of Stitches' kit. But Probius, he generally needs some setup.
He does. In terms of area control, though, which is what this map can really come down to, Probius is second to none except for maybe Gazlo, and we have seen Gazlo, I believe, once total in HGC.
I think Probius does it better. Like, he has infinite sustain, he's got big burst all the time. Gazlo has, like, turrets, they don't do as much. I think Probius is a very strong pick, but I worry what he's up against in a Nubarak, who takes almost no damage from Probius.
Very true. And a Nubarak, in theory, can actually nerf Probius a bit with the debilitation if he really wanted to remove some of that damage.
Yeah.
Let's find out, though, guys. We are heading into what could be the last game, game number 4. And it's going to be on Infernal Shrines. Grubby, tell us about the team on the left-hand side.
Well, they're trying out Probius. It's going to be beGenius with Unstable, Donaton. We've got Arakeen on Greymane. We've got Kirva on Probius. And Tank FTW on Tyrael.
Whereas on the right-hand side, currently 3-0 up, it's Team Gangang, Cronus on Malfurion, BKB on a Nubarak, Anti-Hero on that Stitches, Raid Boss on the Falstad, and finally it's Zay3 on the Kael'thas.
Double Dampen Magic by Stitches and a Nubarak, Mana Addict. And if Falstad could take survivability, who knows if he would, but he does not have that in his kit. So 3-0. The winner here of this best of 7 will go into HGC Pro Division and win a minimum of $50,000 of prize money. Exposure, guaranteed exposure on the main Blizzard Heroes channel.
Yeah.
They'll get to play a lot of experience a lot of games, garner a lot of experience, and have the chance to qualify for huge international LAN tournaments. It's a dream for any aspiring pro gamer, and Gangan is in the verge of breaking through. beGenius, they're trying to uphold the status quo. They're trying to stay in the league, but they have quite a tall order to climb by now.
So, Grubby, we're starting off with Echo Pulse on Probius, the returning Q shot, which can be nice, re-angle onto the E, but not the most common talent we see, I would say. That still seems to be Gather Minerals, from what I've noticed.
Yep, Gather Minerals is pretty much the safest talent after you complete it. You get to place cannons. You do not need to remain nearby. Your cannons will get cooldown reduction every time they attack, and you just place down a lot of them. Your other abilities are accessories to your entire kit, but you just get a lot of safety and cannons. The Warp Rift one does the most consistent burst, but it requires you to stick around a lot. You also have a fairly difficult quest to complete, since pro players generally try not to walk into death repeatedly.
It's a common feature that death is sometimes bad
to be avoided.
Chances of winning the game. Very true.
Now, Echo Pulse makes it easier to proc your rifts. You can do it on the return pulse. And it also doesn't have a quest element. That means that he doesn't need to dive deep to get minerals in the lane. You need 70 minerals, 70 minions killed. As you can see, Kira does not have access to picking up minerals the way that they're playing this. So Echo Pulse has the easiest early game value from all the talents.
Yeah, makes sense. We will see how he's able to utilize it. He's already managed to bully a Nubrak away during that push in the bot lane with that. He's going for the extra speed boost on level 4, making that probe even more mobile.
All right, Probius is double laning right now. Let's see if he actually joins his team. A significant lead in Skeletons has been gained by beGenius. Tyrael usually not that strong early game, so if they can actually get the first Punisher, they're well on their way to get a nice advantage in this game.
New body blocking Unstable in, Roots landed, Falstad's here too, and Unstable lives.
Oh,
we see a Nubarak get taken out instead. Beautiful escape there by Unstable, and a great turnaround with the focus onto that Beetle holding down that choke point.
Now, beGenius is taking a massive risk here. They have never come up with Probius. They're saying we'll either win or lose this shrine with 4v5. And Gangan took a risk also. They flew Falstad up, and it turned against them. I can't stress enough how huge it is when you spread your risks. Ouch. Ouch. That must have been a hook into Gravity Labs. Yeah. Well done by Gangan. But when you spread your risk and you try to get rewards in every different place and you win them all, that is just fantastic. 6.5 versus 6. Punisher has been granted. That means talent lead for beGenius, with only dampening of their joy, Tyrael dying to the hook.
Yeah, which is still reasonable. That Punisher not getting too much. It's still the first one. It's gonna get the tower effects to the minions, thanks minions, and they will be able to clear it up though. Like we said, first Punisher, not the strongest in the world, and it was a mortar. So does some damage, but very little else.
Yeah. Mortar, Punisher, one of the 3 that you can get, and it's the worst one. No lockdown and no massive damage. Arcane Punisher with the lasers is the strongest, whereas the Frozen Punisher can be great setup. Now let's look at the level 7 for Probius. We don't see him as much, so we're going to look a little bit more at him. Yeah. Particle Accelerator, 10% more damage for each enemy hit, or Warp Rift hit, up to 40%. That's a very easy target to reach. You need to hit only 4 members of anything, Warp Rifts or heroes, to get more damage, and you've got that return thing.
Which is nice. That's quite a bit of damage output. He's just going for, like the minimum, the safest build. Like you said earlier, this is the one that's the easiest to execute, and we've often found that sometimes the easiest to execute comp is the one that can really be the most efficient.
Yep, exactly. And that's definitely true in other parts of life as well. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best, simply because you're more likely to succeed, and just because it's easy. All right.
Yeah, we do see the Kazaras there. It's, this Impaler camp actually killing off Probius' pylons, being very annoying to him, as they were able to also outrange the cannon. Top lane getting pushed in. There's a Fallen Shaman with those Fallen Hounds coming in to help. Raid Boss getting raided here. There's the stun, and he is killed off. Anti-hero came in, seeing if they could get any kind of turnaround, but it is a 3 versus 4. So we will just see beGenius backing out. But they've done some good damage to this 4 and given themselves a kill.
Yeah, very heads-up play by beGenius. Barrel roll was already used, so it was absolutely not permitted for Arthas to miss the Howling Blast, and he hit it very well. He could have even walked up and just used his E, but he wanted to hit that blast because it gives him quest stacks. He's about 6 out of 20 so far. He will get a lot of bonus benefits.
Oh, the stun did not land due to the body blocks. Unstable took a different path to, I guess, what Zane 3 was expecting. Meantime, though, beGenius grabbing their heroics first. Bion Overcharge, Curse to Bullet, Sanctification, Divine Shield, and question mark, but probably Army. Oh, hook back in, root landed, damage is dropped, but they can't finish him. Tyrael, too hard to kill, and there's Army the Dead.
Yeah, you know, Syndra goes out, one of the most beautiful heroics in the game, and it's definitely effective at pushing down forts, disabling them entirely for 20 seconds. But when you think of Army of the Dead, the way that forts work in Heroes of the Storm, they prioritize minions and summons. You can also just turn on Army of the Dead, go to a fort, and lock it down in that way.
Divine Shield keeping Tyrael alive, but he's in the Phoenix, and now he's able to escape thanks to Sank as well. Araken, though, might not be so lucky. No, he's getting out as well. beGenius, they just won't die. Unstable is now the target. Finally, they're able to pick someone up. But that is going to be Gangang now able to take control of the objective there. Well, that was some great saving from beGenius, keeping everyone alive for that long.
Now, interestingly, although Probius is supposed to be the #1 zone control hero, he has done very little zone control so far, choosing not to come to the lanes. Now, we saw this behavior come out for beGenius on Dragonshire in map number 3 as well, where they did a fantastic job at soaking experience. But they've never made a stand yet early on with the 5 of them. They lack a kind of lethal panache where they go together and they try to make some happen together. It is the more risky play, but it can be more rewarding. Of course, a fort goes down at the top as well, and if they can stop the Punisher in its tracks before it does too much here, it will be just fine. But Probius actually came home.
So Team Gangang destroying the side wall first so that they can move in for potential Stitches hooks if they need to. Very nice move, very clever, but we're seeing some safe play by beGenius making so that can't happen. Stitches, by the way, has, oh my god, the 4-man route into a cocktail, but nothing else to follow up on it. Stitches has built...
Probius?
Probius
nearly got 100 to 0'd by the Punisher.
Wow, he was able to survive though, but like we said, even though he is very low in terms of overall health pool, but he is lucky to escape there. Yeah, Stitches has built very much into what leads me to believe a fishing hook build. Not going for a slam build to help clear quicker. He's trusting himself. The cannon just blocked the hook. That was kind of neat.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cannons, pylons, blocking hooks. They don't have collision. You can walk through them, but
they do
it will block
skill shots, which is nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Nice job, Probius. Hiding behind your cannon. Well done.
Now, Gangan did a good job opening up the map in the bottom.
Yeah.
And evening up XP.
Stun landed by Kale. Root by Malfurion. Not really going for an engage here. This was just a raid by beGenius, while Gangang are just able to hold down the line. They moved into a position where they could retreat, or they could take a good choke point fight if beGenius wanted to push any further. For now, talents still even. Both teams hitting level 13 at about the same time.
Yeah, no real surprises here for the level 13 talents. We see Probius going with shield battery. Every member who stands in a pylon radius gets a trickle of shields every half second. It will help a lot against the damage over time. Chain bombs, very useful against those. So Probius becomes a kind of surrogate support here as well, besides being the zone control damage hero that he is. But what I still need from beGenius is to have a kind of decisiveness. Take that skeleton lead as they've been doing, lane, but eventually join up and make some magic happen.
We will see. For now, they have 3 people in this top lane, putting some pressure on. Fall's already down. beGenius just putting the pressure on up there, whereas in the bot lane, Gangang were also beginning to try and catch someone. Not happening for either team, though. And as the objective spawns, both teams beginning to make their way over there. But that does mean that these Khazra camps in the bot lane are going to continue pressuring.
Yeah, of all the times to neglect the lane, they let the Impalers go for the keep. That's going to do some serious damage. beGenius is very invested in this one to make it happen.
8 to 10, as close as they've been. Hook blocked by skeletons. This is the issue with Stitches on this map. There's a lot of things in the way. He has Fleabag though, so he needs to just hopefully get hit by some CC to give him that cooldown reduction. Now, moving in. Falstad has arrived. Danatan getting hit by the living bomb. Is he going to spread it? Very close, actually. But that puts him a little bit out of position. There's the sanctification drop very early as Falstad is having to drop the gust. BKB is destroyed.
Pylon overcharge, destroying a Nubarak there. Now moving in on Z3. Falstad.
Raid boss down. Beautiful play. Kirawa turning it round. And that's going to be beGenius' second Punisher. This one, though, quite likely to get a 4.
That is the best team fight that I've seen the entire day by beGenius.
Agreed. Completely. Very nicely done. That Pylon overcharge was good. Their keep is dying. But overall, they're going to get a 4. They're going to get some XP out of this. And that is good. They're finally going to get themselves a lead.
And that's the thing, too. A gentleman would have defended the keep and would say, OK, let's just do all things right. And there was a threat here of the keep taking damage. But finally, beGenius made a choice of courage over comfort.
Yes. And that has worked out very nicely for them.
Yes.
They've even sent Probius to bot lane to clear up that Khazar camp. It is now dead. Punisher will be cleared up by Raid Boss, who does take a bit of sentinel damage from those arcane lasers, but is able to pull back, whereas the rest of the team moving down to bot lane. Hook lands, but the structure blocks it.
Yeah, nice hook, but not quite the right angling. Was eager to get a bit of a comeback there. I agree with you. It's definitely going to be fishing hooks.
Yeah, we will see if he's able to pick that, which he will be quite soon. But beGenius, talent lead for the first time in the game, getting to level 16 first. Holy Ground is on the board.
Let's look at... Oh, I just dropped the mouse, so let's not look yet.
There's one on my side, but...
I want to see Probius's level 16. Let's see.
There you go.
Quantum Entanglement. After you pass into Warp Rift, it will continue to slow. Oh, hold. Well,
the silence dropped very
Who got entangled there?
I don't know, but the cocoon
Probius
is dropped. We see a good gust this time, but we see Tank for the win, at least able to teleport out. Curse Bullet dodged by Raid Boss. Divine Shield having to be dropped on Uther, but he's still so zoned away from his team here. One more stun by Nubarak, and he will not be dead. Oh my god, Uther, so tanky, but he finally gets taken out there. Falstad even able to chase down and get the Tyrael there. So that's 3 kills coming out of Gangang in that little exchange.
Yeah, and that's the threat of Stitches. You make... you make a mistake like this. Yeah, 3 kills, right? Probius,
2 kills, but Probius died earlier.
Oh, right, yeah. But, I mean, this is the threat of Stitches. No matter how well things are going, you can never drop your guard. You must remain behind blockers like pylons and cannons at all times. Yeah. Probius got hooked, and sorry for the confusion there during that time as I dropped the mouse. But there we go, keep is down, and that hurts. No Falstad to stop the push of catapults on the side of beGenius.
Yeah, they have no global. They have to just leave Probius down there. The best wave clear they currently have. Falstad, on the other hand, is able to spend this time clearing out these Impalers in the mid lane and then join his team in top, which they're not going to. For now, they're hovering in the bot lane, grabbing some Impalers to pressure the bot lane before they head up to top. That means they're going to be a little late, but it means that it may fall to beGenius to back up if those Impalers start to get value.
But I think it's the right choice by beGenius. They have Probius, they need to set up in such a manner. Pylon cooldown needs to start working. He needs to start setting up rifts. And they need this Punisher. Now they have 2 Khazar Impaler camps against them, mid and bottom lane. So once again, beGenius needs to make this work. And it looks good so far. The position is sublime.
Yeah, 16-6 right now as Stitches wades in.
Pylon overcharge.
Pylon overcharge is doing some good damage, but it's only on BKB who's holding his ground for the moment. Able to tunnel out. Anti-hero is in a little bit of an issue with the Holy Ground, but is also alive. Hook does not land. Not able to find that Probius here. Then they're finally beginning to take some control. Tank for the win, holding it up, but it's 28-20 right now. Still in favor of beGenius. None of them have fallen, so they're holding their ground for now.
Ooh, such a race, such a close race. Danatan trying to find the angle here on the backline, but he gets gravity lapse. Divine Shield.
Cocoon is dropped. There's the gust to try and disengage. Tyrael able to pull back. Uther coming out the cocoon. The 3-man knockup by BKB. 34-33 on the objective.
BKB!
Dropping crazy damage. BKB goes down. The flame strike doing
38, 38, 39.
It's going over to Team Gangang. They're trying to turn it around. This will have Hook again in a sec. Just misses Danatan. So it's going to be a kill for a Punisher here.
And the core is under assault by Khazra Impaler camps.
Yes,
the mid fort is under assault as well.
Could in theory fly down there and force some ports back instead. We're just seeing roots coming in all over the place to try and save it. Probius going down the bot lane to try and deal this. Looks like Falstad is trying to wrap around. Hook does not land. Mid lane is still under pressure as well as top fort will go down.
87% on the core. This was a very important moment for beGenius, and they availed themselves heroically. 38 to... Actually, they had 39 skeletons against 38, and the final 2 were taken by Team Gangan. Z3 blasting those skeletons.
Oh, goodbye, friend. Actually, come on. No.
Welcome back, friend.
No.
Welcome back, friend.
What? Are you serious? Arcade, the healing from Unstable, keeping him alive. Wow, that was clutch. Well played, Uther.
There and back again by beGenius Arakin.
His life flashed before his eyes there. He saw the entirety of World of Warcraft's story just play out in front of him.
All the lore compressed into that one single moment.
Oh my god. But yeah, he lived, and that's a huge deal at the 60-minute mark. The respawn timers are starting to get to the point where they're very inconvenient.
Yeah, Gilneas will rise again as level 18 versus 19 still keeps beGenius in the game. Hook!
Oh, so close.
Oh!
Nice gust used to disengage it. Cocoon is down, but they don't really look like they're in position to really do anything with it. Get a knock up, that's some good damage. Not going to be a kill. Living Bomb, not even spread. Nicely done.
That's Guardian of the Ancient Kings for you. Uther landing that heal on the gravity-lapsed Greymane. Gives him 75% armor, reducing the damage as if that target had a hardened shield.
It is. It makes you very tanky. Beautiful talent when it is used correctly, like it was there, keeping Greymane alive. So now the final fort that is available for beGenius is now gone. Has been completely taken out, leaving them with only 2 keys.
Arthas is by himself, pushing catapults, possibly too far away, and he uses his Howling Blast. Will the hook hit?
Tyrael's coming. He has reinforcements now. The time has passed. Unless they get Tyrael, can they get it before Sank goes off? Getting focused. He doesn't need the Sank, thanks to that. He didn't even have Sank, sorry. Divine Shield, he needs to keep alive. Uther hooked in instead. Twilight Dream as well. Unstable drops. They get Tyrael as well. And guess what? One more time. Down goes Arthas as well. Eventually, because he's Arthas.
Yep.
He will go down though. But that's 3 kills. Gagang moving in. They look for one more as well. They gust in Greymane. And they just can't stop as they go in for the core. And that looks like it will be GG Probius, the only defender here for his team, as the core goes down along with beGenius' position in the HGC, which has now been taken by Team Gagang. Well played by them, our newest Crucible member, Team Gagang.
4-0 victory. Team Gagang, welcome to the HGC. They've made it. They are now pro players. 4-0 after winning the grand finals of the Open European Playoffs 3-1.
Well played by them. People doubted their choice of picking beGenius, and they 4-0 it. Well played by Gagang. They've made it. They're back again. BKB, a player who came very close to qualifying in the original qualifiers for HGC. He is now back in. Antihero, who has been a legendary player for a long time now, is back in. Kronaz, who in my opinion he was already good in my heart, but that was crazy some of the stuff he did today.
Yeah, just such a good play here. Z3's Gravity Lapse, a leap of faith every time that Antihero's hook came out. But it was so worth it. The kills were taken, and what an ending sequence here. It looks like it was still anyone's game. Sadly for beGenius, who showed a great resurgence.
Yeah, their best game by far, that last one.
Yeah, but in the end, it was not to be enough. They will be relegated down to the amateur scene for now. They had a wonderful stint in the pro division where they fought bravely. But now they would have to try and re-qualify in the next Open Division Cups, which you can play for as well. As we go into the second phase of that year with new Open Division, anyone can participate. It doesn't matter what league you are. It doesn't even matter if you have realistic chances to qualify. The experience itself is fun, invaluable. And if you are an aspiring pro gamer, definitely recommend it. There's going to be a lot of playoffs again at the end of June.
Indeed it is. It's going to be super exciting to see that. The Pro Division's loss is our gain because we now get the players from Synergy and beGenius to cast in the next coming up months, which I'm very excited to do. So we get to see their attempts to make it back in. But once again, let's talk about Gangang there. We're going to get to now see that variety from Anti-Hero against some players like ADRD, for example. Those two are just going to go crazy against each other, I think. That's going to be super fun to watch. But that's both European Open Division teams making it through. The only two teams so far to make it through. We have to just see if America can at least get one of them through, which will be coming up quite soon.